adrenochrome, an immortality serum obtained from the adrenal gland of living children after they have been terrorized to get the highest levels of adrenaline. It has LSD-like qualities and is used in satanic rituals by monarchies, politicians, congressmen, celebrities, CEOs and the elite. Kids are their drug. We need to do away with all of them. Meat is meat. There is no difference, just your perception. There is no condemning other countries when you have an animal on your plate. Correlation doesn't equal causation. CDC schedule 1983, 10 vaccines. 2013, 32 vaccines. 2018, 74 vaccines, more than doubled in 5 years. This is an attempt at depopulation, whether you believe that or not. Autism rates 83, 1 in 10,000. 2013, 1 in 88. 2018, 1 in 36. Until it does. In years gone by, we used to have a name for people who deliberately tried to overturn democracy. They were enemies of the state, traitors, tyrants, quislings. The punishment for the crime would be the death penalty. Now they are given endless time on TV by a biased media to perpetuate their tyranny and have somehow become victims. It's time to drain the swamp. There are 3, 6, 9, there's 12 executions waiting to happen. Let's hope it does. The EU produces nothing. It sells nothing. It makes not 1 penny profit. It is a government without a country. It taxes us, it spends and enjoys the fruits of our labour. In the end, it is worthless, a parasite. Let's be absolutely clear. America is an oil company with an army. That awkward moment when the vaccine package insert that you didn't bother to read says you shouldn't go near babies, pregnant women, elderly, terminally ill and immune compromised people for at least 2 weeks after being injected because you can spread the virus to them. Wonder where these outbreaks come from. Frances McCormick suffered the loss of her son Jack to suicide. She was then hounded because she now had to a spare room to be taxed. The day her eviction notice came, the working mother was found hanged. She leaves 2 other sons, only in government Britain. The government are murdering bastards. They're doing nothing for us apart from killers, starvers. Time to end government and councils is now, today, before they kill any more of us. When pro-vaxxers realised 75% of the people from the measles outbreak were fully vaccinated. Ir exit, hunger exit, ital exit. Follow the star. Let's not let them down, eh? Educate yourself. When a question about a certain topic pops up, Google it, watch movies and documentaries. When something sparks your interest, read about it. Read, study, learn, stimulate your brain. Don't just rely on the school system. Educate that beautiful mind of yours, because they certainly don't intend to. 300,000 for this piece of shit. Meanwhile, Zionism. We are asking the Arabs to accept that a people that have come home after 2,000 years Now who does that, right? Seriously. Who knocks at the door, rings the doorbell and says, "Honey, I'm home after 2,000 years. Can we at least acknowledge how crazy it is?" Apartheid. Wrong for South Africans, wrong for Palestinians. BBC TV licence fee rising to £154.50. Government confirm. The increase will hit licence fee payers April 1st, but there is a way to escape the increase. Don't get a licence. Stop watching the bleeding TV, because it is the biggest brainwashing piece of technology you've ever had in your room, and you put it in the centre of your room so everybody can be brainwashed by it. Stop watching the television. Then you wouldn't have to pay for your own indoctrination. The BBC licence fee will rise to £54.50 from April, except for those that don't pay it. The government announced in 2016 that the licence fee would rise in the line with inflation for first 5 years from April 1st, 2017. This sees it rise by £4 from £150 to £154.50. The increased charge for 2019 will begin April 1st. Yeah, because you're all fools if you pay it, said the BBC said. The new licence fee amount will cost £2.97 a week or £12.87 a month. However, if those renewing in March to pay on the time, they will pay the current licence fee. Those buying a licence before April 1st, 2019 will pay the current rate. Last year, Ricky Tomlinson condemned the Tories for their plans to stop funding free TV licence for over 75s and is calling for pensioners uprising. The Royal Family star wants there to be a grey power protest march. Just stop paying for it. Call them up and say, "I don't watch TV because it's full of your propaganda bullshit. So I don't watch TV, so I don't need a licence. Don't send any more letters or anything. If you send anything in the future, I will be billing you £495 to reply to your unprovoked propaganda." And then send your bill. And if they don't pay you, sue the bastards. You see how quickly they stop writing to you. Yellow Vest riots against Macron to enter 12th week with more police clashes expected. You mean more criminals? The police, they're not police, they're basically thugs, and they're not even in uniform anymore. They just take off the hat and pretend to be a normal man or woman whenever it feels like it. Anti-government vests are preparing for a 12th week of protests on the streets of France. One of the moments the de facto leaders said on Wednesday. The Act 12 of rolling protests, which will be march dedicated to the scores of demonstrators who have been injured in the rallies. Eric Drouet, one of the top public figures in the citizen-led revolt, told France's RMC radio Saturday's protest will be to condemn the violent acts committed against protesters. He said, "So many Yellow Vests have been injured, but it's a taboo subject. They never make the news." No. French court refuses to ban police weapons blamed for Yellow Vest injuries because it's a dictatorship. France's top legal advisors body, the Council of State, has refused to ban police from using controversial rubber ball launchers that have been blamed for a spate of serious injuries suffered by Yellow Vest protesters. Friday's highly anticipated ruling by the Council follows an urgent request by the CGT trade union and the French Human Rights League to suspend use of the handheld launchers, which fire rubber bullets roughly the size of golf balls. The country's rights ombudsman Jacques Taubin has already spoken out against the so-called defence ball launchers. Yeah, they've never been used to defend anything. They've been used to attack only. Amid a surge in the number of serious injuries, including loss of eyes, maimed hands and broken limbs sustained by protesters in recent months. Victims' lawyers have also urged the government to ban so-called dispersal grenades, which contain a dose of TNT explosive and spray small rubber pellets. Officials say some 1,900 protesters and 1,200 police have been injured in less than 3 months of protest, though some estimate that the number of protesters hurt may actually be double that. The victims have included several journalists, some hit with rubber pellets fired by police and others beaten up by police. This is what a dictatorship looks like. The French people are fighting for your security. The least you can do is back them and shun this criminal government, which are just a bunch of elite parasitical scum trying to bring in a dictatorship. Just like this country, just like every other country in Europe and every other country in the Commonwealth. The same things going on all over the world. That's how you know it's a controlled dictatorship push. And if we don't stop it, God help us. Sweden bans mandatory vaccinations over serious health concerns. Sweden has banned mandatory vaccinations, citing serious health concerns and the fact that they violate a citizens' constitutional rights to choose their own healthcare. The Swedish Riksdag Parliament rejected 7 motions on May 10th that would have enshrined forced vaccinations into law, stating it would violate our Swedish constitution. It would if we introduce compulsory vaccinations or mandatory vaccinations. Nothing also the massive resistance by Swedes to all forms of coercion with regard to vaccinations. The Riksdag also made reference to frequent serious adverse reactions in children who receive vaccines. An English translation of the Swedish report. NHF Sweden sent a letter to the committee and explained that it would violate our constitution if we introduce compulsory vaccinations or mandatory vaccinations, as we submitted it in Alkenstein's motion. Many others have also submitted correspondence, and many citizens have called up Parliament and parliamentary politicians have surely noticed that there is a massive resistance to all forms of coercion with regard to vaccines. NHF Sweden has also shown how frequently serious adverse reactions, according to the rate of which FASS specifics that in their package leaflet, the MMR vaccine, which is poison, when you vaccinate an entire group. In addition, one must take into account that each age group will receive the MMR vaccine twice, so the side effects are doubled. We must not forget that in addition, similar adverse reactions list apply to other vaccines. Police call for peace as far right Yellow Vest movement plan more protests in Leeds this weekend. So in other words, those that have woken up and realised that we live in a dictatorship, the police are just a paramilitary form to coerce you into doing as you're told. So of course they're called far right, not well aware of what's going on. No, they're never going to be called that. They're going to be called far right because anyone that has a brain cell and uses it is classed as far right to these scumbags. Measures will be in place to protect the community after violent clashes saw 6 people get arrested and one officer assaulted during the Yellow Vest right. Officers being assaulted, total utter bollocks. They cause the assaults, they enrage the crowd, they push, shove, beat, hit, harass. But then again, you do anything to protect yourself and you're in the wrong. The neo-Nazi Yellow Vest movement, the neo-Nazis now, not freedom fighters, they're neo-Nazis. Have you ever heard such bollocks in all your life? Papers. Shouldn't waste your time on them. Is once again rumoured to be marching across the city this Saturday. While a counter-protest organised by the Leeds Anti-Fascist Network and a group of football fans dubbed Football Lads Against Fascism is also expected to take place, which could spell trouble. It confirms that 150 supporters were wearing high visibility jackets marched through Leeds in January, blocking roads and clashing with police. Not the police clashing them, but apparently they're clashing with police. Oh, I'm walking down this road, police are in the way. Well, we need to get by, you're not going by. So who's causing the problem? The police, as usual. Vice to axe 250 staff in latest round of digital media jobs. Cuts follow recent announcement redundancies at HuffPost and BuzzFeed. Vice has announced plans to cut 250 staff as a wave of job cuts affecting the digital media industry continues to hit companies around the world amid questions over the sustainability of ad-supported online publishing. Britain, free speech is dying in its birthplace. If liberty means anything to all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Britain is the home of parliamentary democracy and classical liberalism, but the legacy has been fading rapidly lately as the British government has been taking it upon itself to police words. In 2003, the Communities Act banned all online posts that cause annoyance, inconvenience or needless anxiety to another, and since then things have only gotten worse. In 2016, the British police detained and questioned over 3,300 people for posting hate speech online. That was a rise of nearly 50% from 2014 to 15. The British government busily justifies those arrests by defying hate speech in broader terms, including any verbal comment perceived or as offensive by a self-identified victim. One recent high-profile hate speech conviction didn't even involve speech. YouTuber Count Duckula was convicted of hate crime for publishing a video of his dog performing a Nazi salute, a video he insisted was introduced as a joke and not to endorsement of Nazism. There is no free speech. The government are doing away with it because they don't want you to know or say or share what bullshit is going on. Bombshell report finds some F-35 fighter jets will only fly for a quarter of their expected life because of major structural issues. In other words, they're shit. Pentagon test report says plane will fly for just 21,000 hours, well under the expected service of 8,000 hours. The plane has been hit by a huge list of issues and is over a decade late. Final cost estimate for US military alone, who expect to reach 1.5 trillion, also being tested for forces around the globe, including UK Royal Air Force. Pentagon report is warning that the US Marine Corps' oldest F-35B Joint Strike fighters could remain airworthy for just over a quarter of their expected lifespan due to the serious structural problems. According to Bloomberg, one early version of the jet, known as Early Black Block F and brought by the Marine Corps, could fly for just 21,000 hours, 2,100 hours flight hours, which the report says is well under the expected 8,000. The plane has been hit by a huge list of issues and is over a decade late, with final cost estimated US military to reach 1.5 trillion. It's being tested by military forces around the globe, with the Royal Air Force already having taken delivery of its test planes known as the Lightning. Although the structural issues are being believed to affect only a small number of planes, the Pentagon Test Office 2018 annual report obtained by Bloomberg also found a huge host of flaws in all versions of the fighters, ranging from cybersecurity issues to unacceptable problems with the accuracy of guns fitted to the Air Force's A version of the plane. In other words, a complete and utter waste of money. Theresa May increased taxpayer subsidies for her wealthy mates to go grouse shooting. So Theresa May says there isn't enough money for doctors, nurses, hospitals, firefighters. So little money that she has had to cut 20,000 frontline police officers. Not only money to help the 400,000 more children in poverty since the government came to power, the 300,000 more pensioners in poverty of the homeless, whose numbers have risen to 53% since 2010. But she's found enough of our money to increase subsidies for grouse shooting, estimates from 30 per hectare to 56 per hectare. The amount you are now paying for her wealthy mate's sport has risen from 45 million to 84 million. Exceedingly rich people are about to get considerably richer, all willingly paid for by you and me. Are there really still people thick enough to take voting for those carrot chances? There's not enough money for doctors, nurses, hospitals. It's a joke. If you're still voting, you're an idiot. You are a complete and utter idiot. Senator Debbie Stabenow votes to protect Israel instead of free speech. Treasonous bitch. Democratic anything but. Michigan Sen bitch voted this week to advance a bill that encourages states to punish business and individuals who participate in boycott against Israel and Israeli companies. In other words, the federal government is attempting to suppress free speech. The Combating BDS Act is an act to strengthen similar state laws already on the books. Michigan is the 126th state that made it illegal for any government to do business with companies or individuals who boycott Israel companies. The world's run by Israel. It's simple as that. It is a dictatorship. It's as simple as that. The scum. We're on the road to nowhere. Yeah, great. Her royal fifeness. Touchy-peely Megan, banana message support sex workers. What a parasitical piece of shit. 2 hours internet cut off for kids. Yeah. The Guardian, officials warn of putrefying piles of waste after Brexit. Oh no, we mustn't have Brexit then. Another bullshit headline. Revealed, new ways by Salinger on the way. The Times, the scum. Ban mobile phone use in schools, ministers warn of dangerous to children. And some woman who's having to take a sledgehammer into a lake to smash it so she can go for a swim. Stay in bed, love. Stay in bed where it's warmer. Express. I don't want to alienate our members or be ridiculously PC. Director General Hilary Magrudy. Kieran Megan message for sex workers. Keep getting shagged. How dare you EU insult colony Gibraltar. Number 10 condemns Eurocrats trying to irritate the hell out of Britain in Brexit war of words. Let's just cut off. See ya. Don't want to see you again. No, we're not giving you a penny. Britain freezes at last. At least someone's having fun. If this treasonous bastards in Parliament give the EU a penny, a single penny, after the 29th of March, that's treason as far as I'm concerned. But then again, they've been doing it for non-stop now, and nothing happens. Treason's the go-to way for these bastards nowadays. Tell lie graph. Green's lawyer was victim too, court told. Social media sites to be held to account by a new regulator. A royal visit, whatever the weather. A royal parasite. No platforming could break the law. Aye. Dublin facing EU pressure to compromise on backstop. Public unity, but in private, Irish will be asked to help prevent no deal. Irish Premier Varadkar flying up to Brussels for... It sounds like a proper Irish name, that, doesn't it? Brussels for crisis talks on economic impact. EU diplomats open to concession, but insist constitutive must come from Dublin. British won't need visas to visit Europe on holiday or for business. Spanish gearing up for new Gibraltar fight. Row EU call the rock and colony. FT. What an evil, evil looking bitch she is. Something outrageous happened on my watch. Yes, you're an evil, traitorous, satanic, Luciferian, child adrenochrome drinking bitch. Amber Rudd on the life after Windrush and battling bad Brexit. And let's not forget, Savid voted to keep it hush-hush. You know, the new foreign secretary, he voted to keep it hush-hush. But he's a foreign secretary. Seems that if you're a lying, treasonous bastard, you get promoted. Yeah, seems to work. Unwary savers tapping pension pots early risk falling into tax trap. Almost 1 million run foul of for charges. Irreversible reduction in relief. Impeccable rules. Airlines will have 7 months to overhaul investors' base in event of no deal Brexit. Brexit borders wrangle stirs memories of the troubles. What a waste of time. Don't buy any papers. If you're going to on a yellow vest, good luck, be safe. Remember, you can't trust the pigs.